A very good morning to my dear student. Hope you are doing well with your studies. So whatever class is going on, whatever topics are being taught, hope you are going through it and you are watching the videos will wholeheartedly. So today we will be discussing about the law of demand. In our last class, so we have discussed about the theory of demand, that is the meaning of demand, determinants and types of the demand. So hope you have went through all these three sections. So today we will be discussing about the law of demand. See, the law of demand, it states between the relation of the price of the commodity and the demand for the commodity. Okay, price and demand. Okay, other things remaining constant. Other things remain constant, like in the determinants of demand. Okay, there are lots of determinants: taste and preference, price of related goods, substitute goods, and more. So these all it will remain constant. These will not change. Income of the consumer, these all it will not change. But the here price changes. Price changes. When the price increases, the demand for the commodity decreases. When the price decreases, the demand for the commodity increases. It has a adverse or indirect relation. It has an indirect relation, inverse relation. The price and the demand, quantity demanded, it has an inverse or indirect relation. If one increases, other decreases. Okay, if one decreases, other increases. Okay, other things remaining constant. Constant means fixed. So let us come through it. So I have written in the chart. Okay, let us go through it. See, a law of demand, it states that other things remaining equal. Okay, other things remaining equal. The quantity demanded of a commodity. The quantity demanded of a commodity increases when its price falls and decreases when the price rises. See, it states that other things remaining equal. It states that other things remaining equal. The quantity demanded of a commodity. The quantity demanded. It states that other things, other things remaining equal. The quantity demanded for the commodity, increases. When it will increase? When the price will decrease. Increases when its price falls or decreases. And decreases means the quantity demanded for the commodity decreases when the quantity demanded for the commodity will decrease, when the price will increase. Other things remaining constant. On the topmost, see, you can see here, other things remaining constant or equal. Constant or equal, both are same. Or you can write unchanged also, you can write. The quantity demanded of a commodity increases when the price falls, and the quantity demanded for the commodity decreases when the price increases. This is what we say as law of demand. Here price of the commodity is the main factor. Price plays the main role. Price of the goods plays the main role in determining the quantity. If the price is higher, then the quantity demanded will be lower. If the price is lower, then the quantity demanded for the commodity will be higher. Just opposite. So let's go through. Demand schedule. Demand schedule is divided into two sections again. Individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. So it is a numerical table. It is a numerical table that shows different quantities of commodity. You can see here numerical table. That shows different quantities of a commodity. Different quantities of a commodity. okay, that would be demanded at different prices. See here, that would be demanded at different prices. Different prices are there, demanding different. Okay, during given period of time, when all other factors affecting demand are held constant, means all other factors, means determinants of demand, leaving the price of the commodity will remain constant. Okay, just the price will change, other factor will not change. Okay, so see here, the price is changing. See here, when the price is becoming 100, the quantity demanded is 1. When the price is 90, it is decreasing, price is decreasing, quantity demanded is 2. More it is decreasing to 80, it becomes 3. More it is decreasing to 70, it is becoming 4. And when it is come to 60, it is becoming 5. So, what do you understand by this? So, it is a numeric, means numerics are written, yes or no? You can see here, numerics are written. It is the numerical table that shows different quantities of a commodity, that would be demanded, at different prices, during a given period of time, when all other factors affecting demand are held constant. Okay, now let's see the individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. What is individual demand schedule and market demand schedule? Okay, individual means single. When the single consumer demand for the commodity, and when you say about market, when the whole, a group of people, a group of consumer, they demand for the commodity. Okay, so you can take from here only. Okay, if you are understanding this demand schedule, then you can write two more sections: individual and market demand. Okay, individual and market demand. So here it is a numerical table, or it is a tabular statement. Individual demand schedule, you can say it is a tabular statement or numerical table. Okay, that shows the quantity demanded of a commodity that would be demanded at different prices during a given period of time. Okay, when all other factors affecting the demand are held constant by an individual consumer. Just if you are adding by an individual consumer, okay, I'm making you for you more simpler. Okay, just this also means by an individual consumer, or by a single consumer, or by a consumer. Just if you are adding, it is okay. Or you can write it is a tabular statement that the individual consumer demands different quantities of a commodity. Okay, that you can add here, individual consumer. Okay, individual consumer demands, okay, different quantities of a commodity. Okay, that would be at different prices during a given period of time when all of the factors affecting demand are held constant. Okay, here you will leave this. Okay, this one you will leave it. If you are adding here, then no need to write again, double repeated. Okay, so it is a numerical table. It is a numerical table, or it is a tabular statement. It is a tabular statement that an individual consumer, what kind of consumer? Individual consumer, okay, demands for the commodity. Individual consumer, okay, demand for different quantities of a commodity at different prices, during a given time period. When all other factors affecting the demand remain constant. Constant means unchanged. The determinants of demand means all other factors leaving the price of the commodity. All other factors leaving the price of the commodity will remain constant. Constant means unchanged. It will not change. It will remain as usual. Okay. So this is what demand schedule, individual demand schedule. You can see the chart. See the price. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60. The quantity demanded for the commodity by individual consumer. Okay, by individual consumer. When the price is 100, the quantity demanded for the commodity is 1. When the price is 90, the quantity demanded by an individual consumer, okay, it is 2. When the price decreases to 80, the quantity demanded increases to 3. When the price decreases to 70, the quantity demanded by an individual consumer, it goes higher. And as the price decreases, as the price of the commodity decreases, the demand for the commodity by an individual consumer also increases. Okay, this is what we say as the individual demand schedule. Now let's come to market demand schedule. What is market demand schedule? So see here, same, everything will be same. Okay, just a slight change you have to do. A slight change. It is a numerical table, or you can say it is a tabular statement. Okay, that the whole consumer, okay, whole consumer or group of consumer, okay, group of consumer demands different quantities of a commodity at different prices during a given period of time when all of the factors affecting demand are held constant. Okay, understood? It is a numerical table that, okay, whole consumer or the group of consumers demands different quantities of a commodity at different prices during a given period of time when all of the factors affecting demand are held constant. Okay, you can write in this format. It is called as a market demand schedule. Okay, so, okay, so price is here. When price is here, suppose consumer A, okay, consumer A, consumer B, and consumer C. 3 consumers are there. When price is 100, consumer A will demand 1, consumer B will demand 0, maybe consumer C can demand 2. When price is 90, consumer A will demand 2, 1, 3. See, 80, it can demand 2, it can demand 4, it can demand 3, it can demand 5, it can demand 4, it can demand 6. So, different consumers, they are demanding same price, but the demand is different. Demand for the commodity by the individual, okay, group of consumer is different. So when you add this total, means what? Okay, total when you add 3, okay, 6, 9, 5, 6, 8, 12, and in a table of 3 it will go. Okay, so this way it is going. See here. So this is the demand by whole consumer. Okay, a group of consumer. So this way we make the market demand schedule. Now let's come to the demand curve. Let's come to demand curve. So the picturization of the demand schedule is called the demand curve. The picturization. See here, this is the price, this is the quantity demanded. Means when you depict this in a picture, okay, when you do this in a picture, okay, you can see the picture here. Okay, you can see the picture above. Here you can see the picture. So when you can see the picture, when you will draw this in the form of picture, in the form of diagram, it is called as a demand curve. It is called as a demand curve. Okay. So let me draw it on the blackboard. Okay. So that you can understand it in a better way. Okay. So see here. See the demand curve. individual demand curve. Okay, individual demand curve. Take this as a price. Take this as the quantity. Okay, so mark it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Take it as till 100. Okay, now the quantity demanded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so see here in the demand schedule, when the price was 100, see high, when the price is high, the demand is next when the price is 80, okay, 2 it is here. When the price is 80, somewhere here. When the price is 70, somewhere here you can see. When the price is 60, okay. So somewhere here. This is somewhere here. So the curve is sloping downwards here. The demand curve, it slopes downward. Because why does the demand curve slopes downward? Because there is an inverse relation, indirect relation between the price of the commodity and the quantity demanded. You know better. Yes sir, when you go to market, if the price is high, you will purchase more. Of course not. You are not going to purchase more of the commodity. You are going to lessen the product. You are going to decrease the product. You are going to decrease the quantity demanded. Okay. So the demand curve slopes downward. Okay. So this is what we say as a individual demand curve. When we depict the demand schedule, in terms of picture, the picturization of the demand schedule is called as a demand curve. Okay, understood? This is what individual demand curve. And when you draw market demand curve, that's it. Market demand curve. Market demand curves here. Just take a chart. Take this chart. Here. So consumer A, B and C. Okay, consumer A, B and C. So we will make a separate chart. Okay. Separate means in the map or this diagram only. So we will make this way. Consumer A is demanding this much, 3. When the price is 100, the demand is 3. This way, when the price is 90, the demand is 6. So this way we will make. Okay. Market. Okay. This way we will mark. So A, B and C. Okay. The consumer A, who is demanding more? Just make it total. Okay. Just make it total here. Okay. 5, 10, 14, 16, 10, 14, 4, 8, 10. 5, 10, 20. So 14, 10 and 20. So consumer A will demand 14 unit, consumer B will demand 10 unit, and consumer C will demand 20 unit. So who is more? Consumer C is more. Consumer B is less, and consumer A is more than B but lesser than C. So here you can draw consumer A and here you draw consumer B. This way. Here in one diagram only total curve is there. So this way we draw a market demand curve. So now let us keep coming definition. See here, it is the curve showing different quantities of commodities. It is the curve which shows different quantities of commodities demanded at various alternative prices. Various alternative prices means different prices. Alternative means different prices during a given time period. During a given time period, when all of the factors affecting demand are held constant. All the factors affecting demand, there it is held constant. It is the curve which shows different quantities of the commodities are demanded at different price level or alternative price level. By the consumer. If it is individual demand, by the individual consumer. If it is demanded by market, then group of consumer. So this is what we have studied about demand schedule, demand curve. So now we will be moving towards the main topic, that is exceptions to the law of demand. Exceptions to the law of demand. So what are the exceptions? Here the exception, it says about, it's just go opposite to the law of demand. When we say about exceptions, it just go opposite towards the law of demand. It doesn't stand in the same line. It doesn't stand in the same line how the other factors stand. So as compared to your book, so there are different points which I have noted down from different books. So hope you understand this. Let's see here. Conspicuous consumption. Number 1 point says that conspicuous consumption. See here, law of demand, what you have studied, price is higher, demand is lower. Price is lower, demand is higher. This we studied in law of demand. As well as theory of demand also. But here in exception to the law of demand, so it is just opposite of that. When the price is higher, the demand is much higher, and when the price is lower, the demand for that good is also lower. Means it goes directly in the same flow. As the price changes, it also flows in the demand also flows in the same way. So how? So let me make you understand. So conspicuous consumption, it says that some of the particularly a typical kind of people are there in the society. They tries to show off in the society. Their richness they want to show off in the society. So what happened in this case, when the price of that particular good increases, this kind of people, they increase the demand for this kind of goods. Like take the example of diamond. When the price of the diamond or when the price of the gold increases in the market, the richest section of the people, they try to purchase more of the diamond as well as gold. just to show off, means expensive item, just to show off that no other else can compare with us. We are the richest among the society. We are the most prestigious person in the society. So they try to purchase more of the commodity. So in showing off, they purchase more with increased price. Okay, when the price increases, they purchase more of the commodity. They try to purchase more. Why? Just to show off in the society that yes, I am the richer and no other else can compare with me. Okay, I am the richest in the society. So this is what is conspicuous consumption. Next, bandwagon effect. Bandwagon effect. So it is related to the business. Bandwagon effect is related to the business. Okay, a particular kind of people. Okay, those who are in the business field. Okay, they try to show off. In business, playing golf is common among the people. A successful businessman, they plays golf. A successful business, they plays golf. So what happens? To show the success in the business, to show the success of the business, so what happens when the price of the golf ball increases? When the price of the golf ball increases, okay, they increase the purchasing power of the golf ball. The purchasing power of the golf ball increases. Why? Just to show off in the society, just to show off in the business field that they are a successful businessman. They are a successful businessman. Okay, this is what we say bandwagon effect, means a taste and preferences. The taste and preferences in playing golf, it is much higher than other sports. Why? It is much higher because it proves themselves that they are a successful businessman. Okay. Next, insignificant share in consumers' budget. Insignificant share in consumers' budget states that some of the goods or commodity are there. Some of the goods and commodities are there where whatever the price increases or decreases, the demand for the commodity or the consumption for the commodity, it will not change, it will remain same. Salt is the best example. Suppose the price of the salt increases too high, what will you do? You will purchase less and you will add less salt in your food. No, you are not going to do so. Okay, if the price of the salt decreases, what, you are going to purchase more of the salt, and you are going to add, yes, the salt price is decreased, so I will add more salt. Are you going to do that? No, you are not going to do this also. So whatever the required amount is there, you to add that required amount only. You are not going to add more of the salt, or you are not going to add less of the salt. You are going to add the required amount of the salt. Okay, this is what the insignificant share in consumer's budget. So whatever the price changes in the product, the demand for the commodity will remain same only. Okay, understood? So this is what insignificant share in consumer's budget. Now let's come to Veblen effect. What is Veblen effect? So Veblen here, he is with a viewpoint. He says that the quality of the product is the true indicator of the price. Okay, the price is the main factor. The price is the main factor of the product. If the price of the commodity is high, then the quality is best, and if the price of the commodity is less, then the quality is very, very worst or bad. It's not good. So the price of the product, it acts as a true indicator of the quality. Okay, so as the price of the commodity increases, the demand for the commodity also goes high, because the quality is nice. Of course, the people will go towards the quality of the product. Yes, the reputed person will go towards the quality of the product, irrespective of the price. So, as the price is higher, the quality is nice, the demand also goes high. As the price goes low, the quality is not nice, the demand for the commodity also goes low. So, here Veblen is with the viewpoint that the price of the commodity is the true indicator of the product. If the price is higher, the quality is very good. If the price is lower, the quality is not so good. So if the price is higher, the people will purchase more of the commodity because of the quality, and if the price is lower, people will purchase or decrease the demand for the commodity because of its lower quality. So here it is what we say as a Veblen effect. Okay. Next is a Giffen effect. Okay, Giffen effect. So it occurred in 19th century in Ireland. It occurred in 19th century in Ireland. The labor group people. So what happened? The incident. The labor group people. Okay, they were consuming. Okay, potato and meat. Potato and meat. So what happened in Ireland? So when the price of the potato increased, see here, potato and meat they were consuming. So as compared to potato, meat is much costlier. Meat is much costlier. So the combination was potato with the meat. They were consuming potato and so as well as meat. But when the price of the potato increased, so what they did? So they decrease the consumption of meat and they increase the consumption of potato. They decrease the meat consumption and they increase the consumption of potato more. Lesser they ate the meat and more they ate potato. See here, law of demand states that when the price goes high, the demand goes low. But here, when the price of the potato, okay, potato comes in inferior goods. When the price of the inferior goods, okay, increase, the demand also increases by decreasing the other consumption. Okay, when the price of the potato increase, the demand for the potato also increase. But what happened? The demand for meat decreased. They demanded lesser of the meat and more of the potatoes. So here it is what we say as a Giffen effect. Okay, so this is what is there in today's syllabus. Okay, so this is the important point. Conspicuous consumption means show off in the society, diamond and all, gold and all, to show off in the society that they belong from particular very rich culture, rich society. Okay, very rich. Okay, bandwagon effect means the taste and preference playing golf among the successful businessmen. To show that they are successful businessmen, they try to play golf. When the price of the golf ball increases, they purchase more of the golf ball. Okay, insignificant side in consumer budget. So whatever changes is there in the product, they will consume the same amount. Okay, the demand for the product is not going to change. Like salt is the best example. Veblen effect means price as the true indicator of the quality. Okay, so means the price, if the price of the good is higher, means the quality is very better, the quality is best, so people will go towards that product more, people will purchase more. Okay, you can take the best example in Zagong. Okay, City Life, the price was low but the quality was not so good, so it is closed now. Take example of Reliance Train, the price is little bit higher but the quality is good, still the shop is running, still the mall is running. The best example. Okay, live example you say. Next, Giffen effect means typical inferior commodity. Typical inferior commodity means that the potato and meat. Potato is inferior. Okay, potato is inferior commodity. So when the price of the inferior commodity, okay, increases, so here the labor, they decrease the consumption of meat and they consume more of the potato. by decreasing the amount of meat. So this is what is in today's class. Okay. So hope you have understood, and after watching the video, please do write your name, okay, below the comment box. Thank you for today's class.